Well, IoT is really part of the wider digital transformation that we're seeing happening all around us. There's no there's no doubt that IoT will have, or actually already has, an impact on our society and the way we live. We live today and we will live in the future. And there's, I think, also no doubt that IoT will be able to address some of the fundamental topics that are important for our future, such as energy, carbon footprint, water, and food, obviously. Yeah. Some people talk about a fourth industrial revolution. I actually think the change is even broader. If we think about it, we're connecting machines all around the world. We're connecting probably billions of devices. We let them communicate with each other. We let them take decisions, and we even let them trigger actions. This is big. This is big. So we better make sure that we're going to make it work. So I rather think in historical terms, probably this is more like back in history, mankind discovering fire, plus actually the alphabet being invented, plus the printing press all at the same time. And we better make sure that we use the power of communications to make this a better world, which is actually the BT slogan. Well, I recently picked up this line, IoT is dead. Long live IIoT. And what I think where there's some sense in that is that we have seen a bit of a hype around smart city and smart home. I think there's a huge potential, but probably will take a bit of more time to ask the consumers to see the benefits from the connected home, and for the cities to overcome the budgetary issues and the bureaucratic hurdles that we can see. So I think the near-term impact will more come from the industrial application, industrial IIoT. We already see machines being connected. We see this happening in a number of industries. We see it happening certainly in manufacturing. We see it happening in mining, oil and gas, transport, supply chain, logistics, and obviously that's quite omnipresent these days, connected car, the automotive industry. Well, in retail, it's probably the consumer, you and I, driving this digital transformation. We go online to search. We start shopping there as well, although most of the shopping still happens in the shop. More than 75% is still sort of brick and mortar. So the challenge for the retailers is really omni-channel. Yeah? You have to be present to sell, but also to deliver in multiple channels. And then two more issues for them, they have to turn this online digital experience into a digital experience in the shop. So how do you digitalize your shop? Digital touch points, connectivity of devices, of objects in the store is becoming more and more important to sell efficiently to your customers. And the second point is inventory.
Sure.
If they don't digitalize the inventory and connect as many of the objects and batches, it will be difficult to reduce the overstock and have the items available when the customer wants them. It should be. I don't think it is yet. I think security has been picked up as one of the key themes. If you look at the sheer number of devices we see across the globe, and also in a certain supply chain, you can imagine the exponential multiplication of attack points. So we have to really look at integrated security solutions. I don't think we are there yet, starting from the device, through the connectivity, into the IoT platform, and into the applications. There are many players involved, and what we really need is good understanding of security issues at each single point of these elements, and then an integrated solution. One other point I've noticed is that security often comes too late. If you have an IoT project, start with security first from the very beginning. If you do it halfway, it's already too late. Well, I think 2 years ago already the CIO had become a CIO/CDO, Chief Data Officer. Now, probably the CIO has added another acronym to it. It's more the CIO, CDO, and CSO, so Chief Information, Data, and Security Officer. And my prediction is that we're going to end up adding another acronym in about 2 years' time, which will be the CAIO, the Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer. Maybe a bit of a personal view mixed with BT. I think we will actually crack on with one of the key topics, which is carbon emissions. I'm very positive that the automotive industry is making good moves. I think the consumer is also moving by, in particular, the young generation, thinking more about using a vehicle rather than owning it. So I think we will see a shift in smart mobility, very much driven by IoT, so that we ultimately reduce the traffic, the cars on the road, probably overall cars around the world, hence less manufacturing emissions and obviously less congestions in the city. So I think that is one of the key dramatic changes we will see in the near future, sort of 3 to 5 years.
Enjoyed this video? Click here to get the latest news on siliconrepublic.com and follow us on social media.